how y'all sound so cool. Sophia, good night. Much better, much better. Good evening, everyone. My first name is Cynthia. I like to be addressed like that, Cynthia. And I am originally from New Amsterdam, Berbice. When I first moved to Georgetown in 2011, I was living at First Street Cummins Lodge. Then I moved to Third Field Cummins Lodge. And then I moved again to Seafield Sophia. Well, I wouldn't tell you the drama when I told my Barbician family that I was moving to Seafield Sophia. We're going to get to that. But I have had 3 different addresses in this constituency. So when I tell you from 2011 to now, I have seen a difference. No, I mean it. No, I mean it. I've lived yonder and sonder. So I know. When this government took office in 2015, it was a mess. This particular constituency, am I lying? It was a mess. Let me not tell y'all about the fields in Cummins Lodge. And I used to live on the eastern half. So you know the little piece of bridge that you gotta cross over? Yes, I had to cross over there. So some nights when I'm going home late and the taxi dropped me, I have to, it's not in front of my gap. And I will tell you why they couldn't drop me in front of my gap. Because they had to go all the way around at the back by industry to come into the fields. You want me to tell you why I had to cross the bridge and walk the rest and not have the taxis go around? It was terrible. It had a bridge. If you blink, the bridge might fall apart. If you are from the fields, you know. First to 10 field Cummins Lodge, you know what I'm talking about. The road was horrible. Unless you had your own personal vehicle, you wouldn't want to drive at the back there. The potholes were like pools and trenches, the big. Now, under the APNU AFC government, all of that has changed. At the back there, have a nice concrete bridge. Y'all hearing me? Concrete bridge and nice paved roads. You ain't got to frighten to tell the taxi man to drop you at the back there. Instead of having to walk over to the eastern half on the little piece of bridges that they have from the 1st to the 10th. I want to tell you why I stand here in support of the APNU AFC coalition. Listen, comrades, a lot of people have said that this government has done nothing for the people. We're not going to get to that part yet, whether they have done or they have not done. But I want to tell you why I support them. And I want y'all to listen to me very carefully. On the previous PPP administrations, y'all know them. Y'all know the administrations of which I'm speaking about. The previous administrations. If this community had 1,000 persons living and voting here, and 600 votes for the opposition, and 400 votes for PPP, they neglect this whole community. They neglect this whole community despite the 600 will vote against them and forget the 400 will vote for them. Am I wrong? I am not wrong. And it is not this, not because I'm saying this community, I mean exactly this one and this one in isolation. It's communities all around the nation. They never care for their supporters unless they won that constituency and they won the region. If they did not win, they neglect the whole area to spite the people who vote against them. But this Granger administration, let me tell y'all something. This Granger administration is an administration with a difference. These people under the Granger administration have vision. You hear me? They have vision. And they have never, under the 4 years of government, They have never neglected the community because they lost the constituency or the region. Y'all hearing me? I travel this entire country and I know what I'm talking about. The development is great, irrespective of whether the people voted for this government or not. And that is the main reason why I continue to support this coalition. Because when they get into power, they became government of the people of Guyana, not government for friends and family and voters. Government of the people. Now let us get to the part where some doomsday preachers, I'm sure y'all see them on TV, on the news. They have said that this administration have done nothing for the people. Absolutely nothing. But you and I know that that is not so. Isn't that true? Let me tell y'all why we know that is not so. One of the campaign promises in 2015 was to restore local government in this country. How many, which bright person could tell me how many local government elections we've had from 2015 to now? 2. I got a bright person here on my right. 2 local government elections. We promised to restore the local government system in Guyana, and so far we have given the people 2 opportunities to select their representatives in their constituencies. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? That sound like the government ain't do nothing for the people. It might not be a direct benefit where somebody come and put a little something in your hand. But it is the reason why communities have seen the development they have been able to see up to this day. What developments am I talking about? Clean drains. Clean drains is one. When I first moved to Georgetown in 2011, oh gosh. Georgetown was, terrible. When it rains, you don't want to come out your house. If you gotta go market, you say, man, look, I'm going to just cook a little pasta and sprinkle a little salt and call it George. Because you know the situation, it's going to be filthy. Soon, the raining will fall, you know. The raining will fall. If it got to rain, soon it smile. Couple clouds, Georgetown flood. And then to add to the flooding, you had one set of plastic bags and food boxes and all kinds of things. You're walking and you're kicking on the road like football around. You don't even want to come, wherever you get to your house, you just say, look, this is it. That's how PPP had we. That is how PPP had us people. Can we go back to that? What is backwards? I don't know nothing but backwards. I know but forward. Exactly, people. We can't go back to that. We can't go back to a filthy Georgetown. People ain't got no respect for you when they come in your country. They got to turn up their nose. And not because they're looking down on us, but because the sense of pungent, they got to turn up their nose. It's terrible. Under this administration, less than a year, President Granger being in office, Georgetown was transformed. Georgetown was transformed. Order was restored to Stabroek, the Stabroek area where the bus parks are. Order has been restored. Listen, when after the cleanup campaign was completed and I walked at the Sophia bus park, I was so shocked. The PPP so clogged that when it rained, the water had nowhere else to go but in your yard. Under the Granger administration, flooding is a thing of the past. Flooding is a thing of the past. Till I can't even remember what flooding feel like. You could have 12 hours of rain, and you wake up in the morning, you say, shucks man, I still gotta go to work. You're wondering if it's not back in PPP time, we could have just called in sick because you know the place flood in. So now you still gotta get up and go because the Granger administration has made things better. It has made life easier. I want y'all to listen to me. Life is easier. The air is cleaner. The respect has been restored. And we're getting back to the Garden City status. And we're going to get there eventually. This, you vote ACNU AFC March 2nd. By the time we come in this community to campaign again in 2025, Georgetown will not be a transforming city. It will already be the Garden City restored. Another thing, and I hope some of these drivers passing could hear properly what I'm saying. This main road here, coming in to Sophia, y'all know who do this? Y'all know under which administration this road was done? Anybody could tell me? Under the Granger administration. This community was neglected for years on the previous administration, and I'll call the name. Sometimes they don't work, I call them the name. Under those previous administrations, them vehicles, especially the silver one in front of me, would have had to go in a hole and come out back, the same spot. But the Granger administration has made life easier. It has made life easier. You cannot go back to backwardness. You cannot take 2 steps forward and 1,000,000 back. Because it's 1,000,000 steps you're going back if you put your head by the cup. Y'all are hearing me? Another thing, street lights. At first, street Cummins Lodge in 2012. I want to tell y'all a story, but I don't want y'all to get bored. I walking home from class. It was a night, quite like this night, uneventful. And I walking through my street, and I sensed somebody following me, right? But I really take the things for nothing. And I had my phone in my hand. This young man on a bicycle approached me, said to me, "Girl, why tell you about walking with this phone on the road in your hand like this?" I said, "Excuse me?" The young man said, "Give me this phone." I said, "No." And I snatched away my hand and my phone. The guy pulled out a knife. I was beaten for a cell phone. When I went to the police station, comrades, the policeman asked me for a description of the young man. I said, "I don't know." They said, you see the man? You and the man had a conversation. I said, "I don't know." They said, "How you don't know?" I said, "Because the place was dark. I couldn't see the man. I just know a man robbed me. I couldn't see the place dark." So you know what happened? I ain't got no description of the young man. Case thrown away. You know, no. That can't happen because I'm going to be able to tell the policeman height, size, age, description, how we look, how we walk, how we talk. Street lights I'm talking about, people. Street lights. What government, what worthless government would have its people living in darkness? What government? Can we go back to that? We can never. Once you see the light, you just gotta keep chup 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 going forward. You can't go back to darkness. When the people snatch your stuff, you can't even tell the policeman is who, what they look like, if they're even white, because it's a dark. Street lights. I want to emphasize, ladies and gentlemen, clean drainage. Why do I keep emphasizing this? Dirty drainage is the reason why some communities, could have been this one, I'm too sure, y'all got to tell me, under previous administrations used to be plagued by mosquitoes. Oh my goodness, you can't even walk outside. The mosquitoes fetch you away, lift you up and gone. And I ain't had all this ice, it was easy for them to lift me. The mosquitoes, and they carry diseases. 1, 2, 3, you're sick. 1, 2, 3, your children sick. 1, 2, 3 something. But with clean drainage, I don't know if the mosquito problem has been fully addressed, but I have been standing here for some time and not one invite me. Because why? Somebody said it over there, the government clean up. It's a cleaning government. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. Cleanliness is next door. And if you got your people living in nastiness, yo. Alright, I left the one up to y'all. Bridges is another thing. Bridges. When I lived in Seafield, when you wanted to go over to B or D field, you had to come all the way out on the road and then go in through the back to field or use one of them crossroad on a dry day. Dry day. No! No! Y'all have paved roads leading from field to field to field. You have bridges. Progress I'm talking about. Progress. Not promises. Progress. Another thing. I know y'all want to hear the story. When I told my Barbician family I'm moving from third field Cummins Lodge to Seafield Sophia, my grandmother said, what? What you say you're doing? Moving to where? Seafield? Your head good? Sophia moving to? Because we lived in Barbies. I lived in Barbies 19 years. When you watch TVG News, under those times it was Vera, all you're seeing is a few communities in Georgetown, Sophia included, being plagued by gunplay, criminal activities, high. You can't walk without somebody snatching you, even in the day. I know y'all know which period I'm talking about. And even though that period was behind us, when I told my family I'm going to Sophia, they were shocked. They were against it. I said, well, it's a big deal now. And I went my way. I get robbed in Cummins Lodge, but I never get robbed in Sophia and never. Nobody can interfere with me. And I ain't talking about going home 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm young, you know, I like walk a little late and things. Back in the days, I get a little old now. But back in the days, you know, I could come in and go out to the scheme under the Granger administration. Security has been tighter. You hearing me? It has been so tighter and it has improved so much that small businesses are opening in this area, in this community. People are opening their businesses, thank you sister, night time. Because when you come down this road, chuku on your little train, you see one set of businesses open nighttime. That could have happened in PPP days. When last your door got kicked in by the police with no reason? When last? Certainly not under the Granger days. Certainly not. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. Things aren't perfect. We are an imperfect government. We are trying to get things right. It is a learning curve and it is a learning process. But I implore each and every single one of you to do one thing now. Take a minute. Has this imperfect government in 4 years done more for you than other previous administrations in the 23 years they were there? Yes. They have done twice as much in the shortest time possible. One good term deserves another progress. All right, we progressing. Okay, I'm gonna conclude now because some of y'all look a little bored with my stories. But as I conclude, I want to tell you the importance of voting. I know it, I hear it from some members of my family, very close relatives who said to me, girl, I ain't know what y'all gonna do this time, but I ain't voting because this government, me never vote for this government and I can't vote because I ain't put in my expiry code. Set out your thoughts. If you buy it, if you put it in your basket, put it back on the shelf. No. March 2nd, get your ID, get your passport, and make sure you go to the polls and vote. Don't let one thing stop you from voting. Don't let one thing stop you from voting. If you was looking as a public servant in 2015 for 50% increase and you didn't get it, don't let this stop you from voting now. You hear what I'm saying? Because it has increased nevertheless. Don't let little issues that you feel the government, or major issues even that you feel the government should have addressed, but it didn't, stop you from voting. I said we are an imperfect government. We are trying to get things right. And the mess we met in 23 years could never be clean in 5. Yet we sweeping and progress was happening. In that so, don't let March 2nd end at 6 p.m. without you casting your vote. We cannot take things for granted. Don't sit at home and say my neighbor going to vote. I know she's a D-shore vote, she can vote for me and she. No, there's one vote, there's not two. You gotta go and vote still. You have to go and vote still, and this might cause a little bit of a heat. But don't feel no way. But not everybody in your household go and vote for the APNU AFC coalition. You hear me? Do you hear me? I come from a household where my grandmother was always questioned election time. Kathleen, who you vote for? I mean, who I vote for? But the 5 years cheering for the mess up government. I'm saying this to say to you, do not take things for granted. Encourage the people in your household. Sometimes they are upset and you don't know why. But you encourage them, show them out. Sita, John, you know, and the PPP we had X, Y, and Z, man. Get up, man. Don't be lazy. It's just one X. You hear? Go and vote. If you want progress to continue, you have to vote. Don't depend on anybody to vote for you because they can only vote for themselves. So make sure you vote. Okay? Thank you very much.